Leo, happy new year 2026. We're going to be going through your forecast of what you can come to expect in this coming year. And we got several biggies coming in for you. We got the three outer planets changing signs for you, and that is such a game changer, Leo. We're going to dive into that here towards the end. Because why? I like to start off with the transit of Mars just to see where our drive is going to be, the goals that we want to complete. And the good news about Mars here in 2026 is that there's no retrogrades. So it's going to be hauling down the freeway, getting things done. You're going to have a very dynamic year in that sense. It's starting off in your sixth house, 12 degrees in Capricorn. So your health, at the end of 2025, you might have been focusing on it or getting some health checks done and whatnot, looking into changing up your day-to-day routine for health and so forth, which is good. Meaning you're going to start off the new year with wings, okay? And then moving into the seventh house of your relationships, partnerships, moving into the eighth house, then thereafter, and this has everything to do with savings and stocks, bonds, dividends, and so forth. Anything that you might be expecting as far as royalties or looking into your mortgages, anything not your day-to-day income. It's more the long-term money, how you put it aside, how you can grow this aspect. It's going to give you 6 weeks there. Normally, typically, Mars takes about a 6-week transit through each and every house. You're going to be progressing through the ninth house, or maybe taking up a course or traveling. 10th house will be your career. 11th house, hopes and dreams, or your affiliation with groups and so forth. 12th house, your dreams, time to step back and just put your feet up and relax a little bit, just because then you've been so dynamic for so many months. Coming out fresh and strong with Mars in that first house, with the renewed energy and image out towards the world, ending up 9 degrees in Virgo, their end of the year. Second house for money. Okay, so yeah, you're going to have a very, very good year, a very dynamic year in that sense. Try to tap in throughout the year and look at where Mars is and put that in your chart so you know where you can really drain, or should I say, maximize the energy of Mars's transit for each month as you go along. Then I want to focus on Jupiter. Jupiter, Leo, has been in your 12th house this year, 2025. And it starts off retrograde until March 11th, meaning you're pretty much going to be putting things into place, into a better and more improved place. That's what retrogrades are all about, is time to tweak. When the planets are direct, we're so busy on the future and looking at that and how to get there, that there's a lot of goodies that falls along the roadside. So taking a revisit, and that's what retrogrades are all about, is to redo. And if you can do that, you can actually come to maximize the most of the benefits, the best of the benefits of Jupiter in that 12th house. And then it's going to move in from July 1st into your first house, crossing the ascendants of your solar chart. And of course, the first house is all about you, Leo. And so you're going to fire up, you're going to show the world a new you, right? And you might be expanding everything that's totally important to you. It could be a new wardrobe, new haircut, all this. The presentation of how the world will see you and what you've been working for. Let's not forget that, because Jupiter takes 12 years to go around the chart. So you're finalizing up towards July 1st, finalizing everything you've been doing for the last 12 years, since Jupiter was on the ascendants the last time. So sometimes, always at the end of a run, we feel a little tired, a little exhausted. So don't be too surprised if you're tired come May, June, right? And it's okay to start putting your feet up and just start visualizing what it is you want as a final outcome, so that your energy is all aligned come July 1st. It will be there to the end of the year, Leo. It will retrograde again December 13th. giving you a little respite to kind of look back over and tweak what you've done since July. I would say even before that, from March, actually, when it started going direct again. So this is a great time for you to now expand your horizons. Make the most out of it, Leo. I know you're such a fun and loving type personality, and Jupiter really assists that. It supports it, right? So moving on to the retrogrades of Mercury. I hope you got your pen and pad out. We always have 3 retrograde periods a year, Mercury retrograde. And you're all known to the fact that we never really want to start anything new. Why? Because it tends to change upon us. It lasts 3.5 weeks each and every time, right? And it's definitely not a good time to go buy any new things, especially not electronics, equipments, and so forth, or signing any contracts, because that might change up on you. Maybe the equipment won't work and you're going to have to bring it back. The agreements that we make with others, maybe we won't be able to hold our promise, or maybe they won't, right? And that's just totally annoying. So let's look at the dates for the first Mercury retrograde, which will be in the sign of traffic passing by the window here. In the sign of Aquarius, we'll have the first retrograde, and it will, for you, be in your 7th house of relationships. So here, it's a good time to listen to your partner, or have your partner listen to you if you have things that you need to have said and done, right? So that could be our significant other. It could be anybody we work with closely, one-on-one. And then the second retrograde will be in the sign of Cancer. That's your 12th house. So how is that going to work for you? This is going to take place between June 30th to July 24th. So that summer month there, you might just feel that you want to kind of pull back a little bit. Jupiter has been in there. We talked a little bit earlier that you might have felt a little fatigued at that point there in June, coming into July, and then now following with the retrograde. Well, it's really seeing things for what they are. I love this because you are such a sensitive person in so many ways that it's important for you to have things right, so security can follow along. And the third, then, retrograde of the year will be from October 24th to November 14th. This is going to be in the area of your family, home, and foundation, the 4th house, and in the sign of Scorpio, which makes it a little bit more intense. Scorpio is always very intense. It will turn every stone, Leo. So if there's things that have been just kind of hanging there, unspoken of, any misunderstandings or agreements that hasn't really sat, this is the time to really clear that out. And I feel you're going to do it in a really good way because since everybody does have the same retrograde in Scorpio, you're the one having it in the 4th house for family. So you're the one in the family that might bring up situations that need to be cleansed. And that's always a good thing, isn't it? It's until November 14th. But let's now move to the outer planets, which I'm super always excited about because why? Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, they are transpersonal. And that means that all the planets, from the Sun out to Saturn, are personal planets that rule over the here and now. It governs the 3D reality, the physical embodiment of our day-to-day. Those outer planets rule more our higher chakras, so it's our spiritual being. And we're not just humans having a spiritual being experience. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. We're going to turn those around to really, truly see what takes place. And there's so much more than meets the eye. Now, these 3 planets, mind you, all of them are changing signs. They move so slowly. It's like Uranus takes 84 years to go around our chart once. Not all of us even get to experience a full cycle, right? Let alone Neptune and Pluto. So when they change signs, it really changed our spiritual conception of things, our perception as well. Uranus, it has been now in Taurus. So what has that done for you? It has been working in your 10th house for career. You might have seen some major changes in your career for that reason. Just because Uranus likes to throw a bone right into the wheel, and it changes up. Sometimes it can be shocking and not just discouraging, but we might feel that we lose sense of control, but only to gain new control. In that sense, we always have to understand that the universe is always, always, Leo, looking out for our higher good, our higher best, right? So the changes that you have gone through over these years, which might have been very upsetting and unsettling at some point throughout that journey, is now set. Your career is set. You know what you want. You know what you don't want, right? And of course, your finances might have changed alongside with it. But this Uranus now moving from Taurus, in your 10th house, is moving into Gemini, 11th house. Now, the 11th house is hopes and dreams, groups, organizations. It's also in the sign of Gemini, which is communication. And it's double featured in that sense. So you might now feel that you are pretty much settled in your career and now wanting to change it up. You have good time. It's not all going to happen all at once. Uranus in Gemini is going to stay with us till 2033. So we got a number of years, and between now, 26 and 33, you will start to see this area of your chart, this area of your being, this area of your consciousness change. Changing to what, though, may you ask, right? Well, it's in the area of communication. Uranus is also always about being outside of the box. Saturn restricts. It's the old way of thinking. It's our old norms, or what the world says or tells us is norms. Uranus is saying, not necessarily, because I choose to see things this way or communicate things this way. So you're going to start seeing how you're going to be attracting people that are more Uranian-like, more friends. Maybe you've been longing to be with people of more like-mindedness, kindred spirits and so forth, where you can speak your higher truth without holding back. Uranus is always, it's more like if you've been thinking about life in the universe and aliens and those kind of things, that, oh, I can't talk about that. You know, people will think it's a woo-woo thing. Well, look at you, Leo. You're not going to be afraid to express yourself if that has been a part of your overall thinking and concept. And this is just one thing. There's a lot of things here. But say if this was one thing that was important to you, watch it now as the shift comes in. You will have a deeper need to be authentic in your communication, to speak about the things that are truly valuable to you, whether they believe it or not. It's like, it may be shocking for some of them around you, but for you, you're liberating. The key word for Uranus, one of the major keywords, is liberation. You're freeing yourself from what has been difficult, and where you've been holding your own inner sense of uniqueness back. Well, that's coming to the forefront. You will simply love it. If some people around you can't take it, I see you saying, well, so be it. You know, I can't just do small talk with them anymore. It's so superficial. I need to be authentic to who I am. And that being said, as this is coming out, you're going to see over these next years, between now and to 2023, you'll be attracting a totally different crowd of people. The 11th house is crowds of people, new friends, right? And places where you can feel more at home with. So it might be affiliations or whatnot, supporting groups, activists, and so forth as well. So Uranus is really going to liberate you. You've gone through all the changes in your career. Now comes the changes to who you are in the world out there. Moving right along to Neptune. Neptune, at the start of the year, is still finalizing everything, its journey where it has been in the sign of Pisces in your 8th house. So for many, many years, we're talking 15, 18 years, if I go back, Neptune has been passing through this area of your finances, not your day-to-day, month-to-month income. It's where your long-term savings, royalties, commissions, inheritances, and so forth. This might have been a little bit confusing for some of you, where you've been trying, say, to get some claims from an insurance company and they just, they're not doing it and you're going to have to go after them. All that kind has been the lower vibration of Neptune, lack of clarity. That is moving out of there. So what I do see, what you're sitting with now as it's going to move into Aries, your ninth house, which is all about higher values, higher education, and so forth, it's going to leave whatever has been confusing as far as finances, and you are going to start new chapters of seeking higher consciousness. Ninth house is ruled by Jupiter and Sagittarius. So I see a lot of you starting to do research. Maybe you will be getting onto Instagram, TikTok, whatnot, online, looking for answers. And that's where you're going to find new communities as well. Mind you, we just talked about that with your Uranus in that 11th house. But the research, it's because of the need to know is what's going to be coming up. If you've been okay with your old dogma, so be it. That's worked for you for many, many years. But it's like the dogma is fading. New thoughts coming up. And you are going to be like a dog to bone, Leo, to go out and find the answers for what it is that really is going to sit and resonate with you. You can even communicate a lot about this. I feel that can be shared out to your people, your crowds, and so forth. Let's also talk about what else is changing. That's Pluto. Pluto has already dipped its feet into your 7th house of relationships, marriage, or any one-on-one contacts for that matter. Pluto's all about transformation. It's death and rebirth, right? You've had quite a number of years looking into your day-to-day health routines, what you eat, what you do, all this and that. It's like it's going to give you a good long break. Pluto's never going to come back there. What it's going to be focusing on in years, not fully a couple of decades, but for many, many years, how you now resonate with your partner, whether it's your significant other or the people you work with, Leo. One-on-one, it's power and control. Who holds the power and control? Is it you bringing that to the table? Normally, as it enters and it becomes a new energy, so that we can awaken to the consciousness that it's bringing, you might come to encounter very intense people trying to influence their power and control on you and not being too happy about it, right? So it's learning how to balance it, how to bring your power up and to the table as well and balance it. But I have to say, there is a lot of energy coming to this area. You will see how you're going to transform with it. And when we talk about transformation, Leo, I made a song called The Outer Planets. It's an astrological song. It's on my channel. You might want to go and listen to it. There's a couple of other astrology songs there as well. Mars and Jupiter, Venus and Jupiter. These things that can be inspirational to listen to. But the outer planets it's our higher consciousness. They tie in to our higher chakras. And this is what's happening for you in 26 as the very beginning of opening up to the higher dimensions of who you are. We're not just human beings with a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings diving in to a human experience. And it's the awakening to these higher levels of consciousness, moving it from 3D to 5D, which is right now. So definitely go check that out. Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear from you and reconnect with you since it's been such a long time since I've been on my channel. But I'm wishing you the very, very best for 2026, Leo. Have a good one.